In our pursuit of knowledge, many of us find ourselves standing at the edge of reason, staring into the vast unknown, where logic and empirical proof fall short. At this boundary, we are faced with mysteries that can't be solved by data alone. Here, imagination, intuition, and sensory experience become essential tools for navigating the unknown. At the edge of reason, we are invited to explore life not through detached intellect, but through a more embodied, creative, and holistic engagement with the world. As humans, we are natural collectors of information. Historically, this data came from the world around us, where food was, how cities were laid out, and the rules of society. But this information was largely gathered through our five senses. Today, much of the data we receive arrives in abstract form, bypassing our senses, much like medication is delivered intravenously. This overdose of information, disconnected from lived experience, often leads to a sense of disorientation and a loss of meaning. At the edge of reason, where empirical knowledge falls short, we must turn to imagination and faith to continue our exploration. To navigate beyond the limits of reason, the heart, the seat of emotions, intuition, and deeper understanding, becomes like the conductor of an orchestra, guiding our engagement with the unknown. It directs the dialogue between what is known and what lies beyond, helping us make sense of the mysteries that reason alone cannot solve. We all use our hearts or spirit in our daily activities, even if we don't always realize it. None of us live completely on the plane of reason and logic alone. Modern life demands that we create space to play with reality imaginatively, to engage with both our inner and outer worlds in ways that foster a deeper understanding of existence. At the edge of reason, where logic gives way to the unknown, the heart steps in to create meaning through intuition, feeling, and connection. This is faith, a playful and meaningful engagement with the unknown, and it invites us to embrace the vastness of what we do not know. When we reach the edge of reason, imagination becomes our greatest ally. Imagination is playful and flexible. It allows us to create and explore ideas that transcend the limits of logic. This creative engagement with the unknown is essential to our search for meaning, particularly in areas where empirical knowledge fails to offer clear answers. We could say that the meaning of life lies in this playful engagement with the unknown. Faith, in its broadest sense, is not just about belief in the divine, but about trusting in the process of exploration itself. At the edge of reason, we discover the joy of exploring the mysteries of life, not through certainty, but through curiosity, creativity, and play. Our contemporary society is often fixated on certainty and empirical proof, but this obsession can strip life of its joy and wonder. Many people suspend their full engagement with life until they know the answers, leading to a sense of existential paralysis. But life is not an abstract stream of data. It is meant to be experienced. When we engage with the world fully through our senses and emotions, we reconnect with the joy and creativity of life. We can step back from the edge of reason, not to retreat into the known, but to embrace the mysteries beyond it with a playful spirit, finding meaning in the exploration itself. This disconnection from sensory experience is also evident in how many people critique practices like meditation or yoga. Some dismiss these practices as unscientific or ineffective, often based on second-hand information or a surface-level understanding. But without actually engaging in the physical and sensory experience of sitting in stillness during meditation or moving through yoga postures, critics miss the deeper, more embodied meaning these practices offer. Meditation, for instance, isn't just about sitting still. It involves focusing on the breath, bodily sensations, and the mind's fluctuations. Yoga, too, is not merely stretching. It's about connecting the body, breath, and mind in a holistic practice. Without experiencing the calming rhythm of breath or the physical release that comes through yoga, it's easy to reduce these practices to abstract concepts and dismiss their significance. Embodied experience plays a crucial role in understanding why people find meaning in these practices. Abstract critiques fail to capture the full depth of these experiences, which must be lived to be fully understood. This is a prime example of how real knowledge comes from sensory engagement rather than purely intellectual analysis. To truly understand religion, one must engage with it through both body and mind. It's through this lived experience that we find the meaning that lies beyond the edge of reason. We must reclaim a more grounded, experiential way of knowing. Instead of seeing knowledge as something abstract and detached from our lived reality, we can view it as the distilled essence of experience. Knowledge should emerge from our engagement with the world through our senses, emotions, and intuition, connecting us to both external and internal realities. This approach encourages us to move beyond the limits of reason, not in opposition to logic, but in recognition that reason alone cannot encompass the fullness of human experience. At the edge of reason, knowledge becomes something we embody, a whole-body experience that unites the mind, heart, and senses. By embracing this holistic approach to knowledge, we can reconnect with the joy of life. Instead of waiting for certainty, we can engage with life creatively and playfully, accepting that much of what is meaningful cannot be fully understood through reason alone. At the edge of reason, faith and imagination guide us into a more profound connection with the unknown. In this space beyond the limits of logic, we discover that the purpose of life may not be to know everything, but to explore the mysteries with an open heart and a playful spirit. The edge of reason becomes a place not of fear but of potential, a place where meaning is created and where the unknown becomes a source of wonder and inspiration.